Welcome to One India News Hour. IT decision makers improve efficiencies through emerging technologies. Technology has now infiltrated almost every single aspect of everyday life, including how businesses are run. This type of technology is significant to businesses' growth as it can help them connect with a broader range of customers, make more sales, cut down on their costs, and boost their efficiency. Technology has increased the ability of business owners and the team members that they employ to hone their skills and knowledge within their fields. This can then allow them to have a much deeper understanding of the complexities of the business world and what they need to do to ensure that their business is able to thrive. Secondly, artificial intelligence was once relegated to the future, a dream piece of technology alongside that of robotics. However, many businesses now use artificial intelligence when transitioning from a small to a medium-sized business. Artificial intelligence can reduce the cost of business operations and human error. In addition to this, AI can also replace employees, meaning that businesses do not have to pay out so much on human resources, as well as ensure that monotonous tasks such as administration can be completed automatically. They can do this through the use of sensors and automated tasks on servers which can be programmed by business leaders. However, the mobile technology had a large impact both on how businesses are run and how they can connect with their audience. For instance, mobile tech can help to make businesses more effective by allowing employees to work remotely and to make use of their commutes. Let's look into today's headlines in One India. PM's ambitious NCMC service launched. Under the Prime Minister's One Nation One Card initiative, the ambitious National Common Mobility Card, that is NCMC service, started for the Delhi Metro's Airport Express line. NCMC can be used at all transit locations, making all new metro and transit payments interoperable via one card. NCMC is an automatic fare collection system which allows passengers with RuPay debit card issued in the last 18 months by 23 banks including SBI, UCO Bank, Canara Bank, Punjab National Bank, etc. to be swiped for metro travel. It will turn smartphones into an interoperable transport card that commuters can use eventually to pay for metro, bus and suburban railway services. 3i Infotech announces sale of its software products business. Technology services firm 3i Infotech has decided to sell its global software products business through a slump sale to Mumbai-based Azentio Software, a wholly owned subsidiary of private equity firm Apex Partners, for rupees 1,000 crores as per a regulatory filing. The sale of the division is expected to be completed by March 31st of 2021. 3i Infotech's product division posted a revenue of rupees 442.98 crores for the year ending March 31st, accounting for 38.8% of its consolidated turnover of rupees 1,141 crores. PM CARES Fund is not a so-called public authority. In a reply to an application under the Right to Information Act, the central government said that PM CARES Fund is owned by, controlled by and established by the Government of India. The fund was established to collect donations to raise funds for emergencies that is beyond natural disasters such as the COVID-19 pandemic, and all contributions towards the PM CARES Fund are 100% exempt from income tax. The PM CARES Fund has been registered under the Registration Act 1908 and being a body owned by, controlled by and established by the Government of India, it does not meet the definition of a so-called public authority. AYE Finance backs $10 million in debt from Catalyst Trusteeship. AYE Finance, a Gurugram-based financial services startup, has raised over 73 crores in debt from Catalyst Trusteeship through its AAV Sal and Masala Investment Sal filings revealed. AYE Finance has raised 210 crores in Series E round led by Alphabet's Capital G in June this year. It was founded by Sanjay Sharma and Vikram Jethli in 2014. 179 million gamers have had their ID stolen globally, says Kaspersky. According to the recent Kaspersky report, 1 in 10 or 179 million gamers globally have had their ID stolen, which could be worth a combined $347 billion. The research conducted in November suggests that nearly a fifth, that is 19%, have also been bullied while playing. This trend is even more prevalent in the US with 27%, Saudi Arab with 27%, Turkey with 28% and Russia with 44%. Over Facebook-Apple privacy dispute, Facebook employees side with iPhone maker. As the Facebook and Apple's dispute over user privacy and restrictions imposed by iOS 14 continues, Facebook's own employees have apparently sided with the iPhone manufacturer. The social media giant has been criticizing Apple for the past few months over its recent iOS 14, which would bar Facebook from tracking user data without their permission, and this has made things ugly between the two tech giants, even as Apple has for long been a vocal critic of Facebook's data collection methods. As per the reports, the employees of the social media giant said that it was hiding its bad privacy practices behind small businesses. They are apparently unhappy with Facebook's move to publicly criticize Cupertino. MediaTek leads to be the world's largest smartphone chipset vendor. MediaTek beats San Diego-based chipmaker Qualcomm to become the world's biggest vendor of smartphone chipsets by market share as per Counterpoint research reports. However, Qualcomm was the biggest 5G chipset vendor and powered 39% of 5G phones sold worldwide. Counterpoint's data suggests that more than 100 million MediaTek-powered smartphones were sold in Q3 2020, a roughly 5% increase compared to this time last year. Government gives 15 days to SL Group firm to pay Rs 4,164.05 crores. Direct-to-home operator Dish TV received a demand notice from the government for payment of Rs 4,164.05 crores, which includes license fees and interest. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting asked the SL Group firm to pay the said amount within a period of 15 days towards license fees from the period of date of issuance of DTH license till the financial year 2018-19, the company said in a regulatory filing. Bengaluru woman duped over Facebook advertisement. 58-year-old Savita Sharma, a resident of Yelachannahalli in South Bengaluru, was duped of Rs 50,000 while ordering a meal through an advertisement she saw on Facebook that promised 2 thali meals if she buys one meal priced at Rs 250. When she called to the number mentioned in the advertisement, she was asked to pay an advance of Rs 10 to book the order, and the remaining amount can be paid to the delivery person when they arrive with the food. After that, she was sent a link on her mobile phone to fill up a form which also asked her bank account details. She ended up sharing her debit card details and PIN number, and in just a few minutes, Rs 49,996 was withdrawn from her account. She immediately called the same number and found it was switched off. After the incident, Sharma filed a complaint at the Crime Branch, Economic Offences and Narcotics Police Station, and the cops are currently investigating the case. Telangana Police asks Google to block 158 money lending apps. Telangana Police has asked Google to remove 158 unauthorized lending apps from the Google Play Store, the primary storefront for apps on Android, after complaints against representatives of loans apps harassing borrowers, along with cases of suicide after collection agents contacted relatives and friends of the borrowers after they had defaulted on loans. Meanwhile, Hyderabad police have arrested 14 persons in connection to the recent cases in the city and asked the US tech giant to remove 42 digital lending apps. The Cyberabad police have sent a list of 116 such apps that need to get removed. To conclude, technology has made so advanced that mobile apps can also contribute to the business's growth, as customers are more likely to shop with a store whose app they have pre-downloaded on their phone, as this can make the process quicker and simpler. Mobile technology helps businesses to achieve new heights from a marketing perspective. One of the top advantages of using cloud computing within a business is cloud hosting. This technology allows business owners to access copious amounts of information without managing them on an internal system. The Internet of Things can also help to boost the customer experience by allowing for better inventory control and stock management. The technology works by sensing the movement of goods and smoothing out the problems of the buying process. Communication and video conferencing plays an equally important role. Once your business grows, communication will become more important, particularly if you have hired employees who work remotely or in different locations. Having a structure to manage communication on a growing scale will help ensure your business is a success. Lastly, virtual reality and augmented reality are the two technologies that are currently beginning to have a major impact on the world of business. VR can be used for marketing purposes in that it can create virtual showrooms and experiences that can exemplify a product's benefits and allow a captive audience to see it in action. Taking a business from zero to hero can be difficult at the best of times, and particularly in 2020 when the coronavirus pandemic has affected the way that businesses are run in many ways. However, technology has started to show itself as the savior of businesses this year. That's it for the day. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to War India News Magazine. You can download the War India app from Google Play Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.